podcast is not quite live yet. Hang on, I'm going to check back in a second. Hang on, guys. All right, everyone. Sorry, a bit of a funny start. I'm doing something different, of course. It is, I'm not even explaining myself properly this morning. All right, we're live. So everyone, I'm just waiting for Instagram to quickly catch up and let everyone know that I'm back on and being live again. But yep, we're back on live on Instagram. All right, sorry, funny start, everyone. Today's podcast, I'm actually doing live. Simultaneously, I'm live on my podcast platform, which is Podbean. And then I'm live on Instagram as well doing this what am I doing? I'm doing a podcast. Sorry, brain's not quite working. It is the end of 2021 and I'm so excited. Now, this podcast, I never really went to do this podcast seriously. I just was like dipping my toe in the water, and I'm almost up to 500,000 downloads since starting this. So a massive thank you to absolutely everyone who has kindly supported me and encouraged me on this platform. Obviously, I still have YouTube going, and that's my biggest platform, but this has been a really amazing experience. And I'm so glad people pushed me to go and do this, because I did it begrudgingly and never expected it to turn out like this. So thank you, absolutely everyone. Now, next year, I'm about to wrap up, because this is the last piece of content I'm doing for 2021 for Sugar Mama. And it has been an incredible year. We've focused so much on the debt-free journey and people's financial stories and inspiring stories, but I'm going to have a break for about 10 days technically, and then I'm back on. And I almost, even though I want a break to recharge my batteries and have time out with family, I also kind of want to hit fast forward, because there are so many exciting things happening in 2022 for you, particularly on the podcast. You're going to be hearing financial love stories. You're going to be hearing more hacks from me. You're going to be hearing from some celebrities, and celebrities that you would never ever guess are smart and savvy with money. And you're going to hear their story as to why they think, particularly from a female's perspective, why financial well-being is so incredibly important about, taking care of yourself financially. So, oh my goodness, I have such an exciting year ahead on this podcast for 2022. Sorry, waving to everyone. Now, today I want to talk to you about my top non-financial investments for 2021. And so, sorry, excuse my appearance. I've literally rolled out of bed. When you're doing your financial goals and you're on your financial journey, whether it be paying off debt, whether it be saving up for your first home, whether it be investing, building for passive income, whatever it may be, it is so important that you don't just focus on the numbers. If you're just like, I need to get to this much money in my bank account, or I need to get this much off my debt, it's a soulless experience. You'll lose motivation, you'll get distracted, temptation will come your way, and you'll have setbacks, which is fine, that happens. But when you can learn to focus behind the value of that goal, so you focus on the sensation and feeling of pride when you go and buy your first home, or satisfaction when you go and pay off that final credit card and close it off, or when you buy another parcel of shares, or see your passive income increase an extra $1,000 per year. That what are the emotions behind it? The luxury, the freedom, the satisfaction, the independence, the whatever it may be for you. You've got to focus on that. And the other thing is, I don't want you to just, we come onto this planet with nothing and we leave with nothing. I want to make sure that you have a great time here. Now, that doesn't mean we just go wild and shop and get into lots of debt and throw money at things that we don't really have a connection to. I want you to spend your money. I want you to enjoy your money. I want you to, when you do spend though, I want you to do it in a mindful way. It's why my book's called Mindful Money. And it's, when you do this, you get so much more satisfaction out of that purchase. It's kind of like eating, a beautiful dessert, a really lovely dessert. When you have it, enjoy it, it hits a spot, and you don't need to go and order, another dessert or another bowl of ice cream or whatever it might be. When I purchase, say, a beautiful dress for myself, that high that I get from that dress lasts months. I don't need to feel that insatiable appetite where I need to head back to the store again and look for that high again. So I do want you to spend money. I don't want you to be living a tight, frugal life where it's just about numbers in bank accounts and numbers in your share portfolio or a number of properties even. I want you to enjoy your money correctly. Losing my voice now. So today's podcast, sorry, I'm sharing, this is the problem during live, I can only just edit out all my stutters and coughs. Today's podcast, I want to share with you my top 5 non-financial investments, things that I've spent money on, which some of you might think, wow, that's such a waste of money, Canna. But for me, they've been incredibly meaningful. That's okay. You can go past it. Then it's okay. It's fine. This is real life podcast. So you're seeing there's a pile of laundry behind me. Like you should see the mess in this house at the moment. Just keeping it real. So, my non-financial investments, things that I've spent money on that you may think is a waste, or you may think, no, actually that's a really beautiful expense. To share with you that I don't just focus all about like paying off our mortgage, investing, being super tight all the time. That's not what I'm about. As I said, my book's called Mindful Money because I want you to spend your money mindfully. All right, so the top, and no particular order, by the way, the first thing that I've spent as a non-financial investment for 2021 is our puppy, Peppy. So Sophia passed away quite quickly in, I think it was March, and it was heartbreaking. And it's, always listen to your gut. Even though the vets were like, no, you've got more time. I knew she was not going to be with us for much longer. And literally, even the day that she had to be put down, they're like, oh, just she should be fine. Just go do some grocery shopping. Come back in an hour. We'll give you a call. And I walked away just thinking, no, this is not good. And literally, they called me. They're like, oh my goodness, we did everything we could. You need to get in here quickly. So it was a very sad experience. Anyway, Giuseppe got really sad and really depressed. And initially, I was like, no, we're having a baby. We're not going to get a puppy. Giuseppe can be top dog. He's 8 years old. He couldn't handle a puppy. And also, we're having a baby. You can't do it. You cannot do a newborn baby and a puppy, particularly a Labrador puppy that are really naughty. And Giuseppe just he was crying, he was howling. He'd see another King Charles Cavalier and run up to it crying. It was Sophia. And then we started to get, energy is contagious. We started to get really sad and down. Anyway, we bit the bullet, and Peppy is actually 1 week older than Tiger. So I literally have a newborn and a puppy that are almost like twins. And she wasn't cheap. She's a pedigree puppy from the most amazing Labrador breeders. So if you ever think of getting a Labrador, go and research Fenwick Labradors. I follow my Instagram account if you ever want the details. And she has been the best non-financial investment for our family. Giuseppe is a new man. He's young again. He's got so much more energy. They play, they snuggle, they wrestle, they chew each other, they have tug of war. It's incredible what she has done to him. Also for Rocco and Apple, they've got a new sister. I'm distracted with a newborn baby and feeding and, the exhaustion that comes from that. Peppy is great for Rocco. He now is starting to understand the importance of taking care of an animal and even Apple as well, having to feed them and walk them and train them as well. She has not been cheap, not just from a cost perspective, but the damage she's done to our house. Like even last week, almost $1,400 at the vet because she ate something that's gotten stuck in her colon. We were lucky we didn't have to have it surgically removed, but she had a tooth removed. She's chewed my Bose wireless headphones, which are about $700. She's chewed a couple of pairs of Tom's earpods. She has chewed, stuff she's chewed is insane. We won't even talk about the cost of the carpets that we're going to have to replace. But it's been the stupidest thing we've ever done, but it's also been the best thing we've ever done getting Peppy. She's turned our house from being a madhouse to a mad, chaotic house with even more love. So the best thing we've ever done. Second thing is that I am non-financial investment for 2021, and technically I bought this actually in 2018, and that was my Aura ring. I bought this when I had Apple. It's like a Fitbit device, but a far more accurate one, and I bought it for my sleep. I'm someone who's hypersensitive to sleep. It really does impact my headspace. And this Aura ring, which a reason why I'm saying it's for 2021 is because I bought it back out again when I had Tiger. The reason why I think this is such a great investment is it made me really aware of things that I was telling myself in my head that were incorrect. So I would tell myself, I would wake up and think, oh my God, I had no sleep at all. Like I was up all night feeding and settling. But then I'd look at my phone and the Aura Ring, and I'd actually see, actually, no, I got 6 hours of sleep. Yes, it was very, very broken, but I got 6 hours. Whereas I've been telling myself I'd only had like 2 or 3. It was great because it made me really aware. And then there are nights where I thought, oh yeah, I actually had a really good night's sleep, and I could see actually I didn't. But the good thing about this Aura Ring is it actually would say, you know, you're good to go today. You can go for a jog, you can go for a run, you can do some exercise. Or it would tell me the opposite. It would say, actually, you're not in a great space. You need to actually take it easy today, take it slow, try and have a nap today. And with baby brain, sometimes I forget actually I do all the time, forget my kids' names. So this was a really helpful tool. And also it would tell me to get up and start moving. I thought I was getting enough exercise. It would tell me, no, I hadn't even come close to doing enough steps for the day. So it's a very accurate device. And obviously there are all sorts of different ones, but it's one I've absolutely loved. The third non-financial investment for 2021 has been my personal training. Okay, I'm going to sound really mean, but I used to I wouldn't say I judge, but for me, I couldn't justify the cost of getting a personal trainer. I have friends that get personal trainer. I've got clients who have personal trainer. I've got friends who are personal trainers. And I was always quietly like, oh, it's like $110 an hour or whatever they charge. And after having Tiger, I didn't feel like I had the right amount of energy. I loved my Pilates classes. And I loved going for a jog, but and also I had severe prolapse from having Tiger. So I needed to do something different. And third baby, I've put weight on in different areas, and not that getting a personal trainer is about the weight, but I would be lying if I didn't complain to the personal trainer that I got about the coat on my back, because that's where I've put the weight on and it doesn't seem to have come off. But I needed to get strong again, especially with the prolapse. I need to get my core strength back so I can prepare for surgery. And I needed to be able to have my energy levels again. Like I carry Apple around. Sometimes I have to occasionally carry Rocco, and obviously I'm, feeding Tiger, so I'm hunched over. I needed someone to, in particular, help me with my posture and just getting an overall fitness, not just from a strength and toning, but from, as I said, a posture and a cardio and, toning and definition, and just to also feel good about myself. Anyway, I approached this guy called Adam Cooper, who I met through, he's actually a Pilates teacher and a personal trainer, and he put me on a 10-week program, and I have absolutely loved it. And what have made me realize is I will train with him outside, and whereas normally I'm training inside, particularly with Pilates. We get out into a park amongst nature. My dogs run around whilst he trains me, which is great, so it's very efficient. But he will adjust me an inch or a centimetre, and all of a sudden that lunge or that squat that I'm doing is suddenly so much harder. And it's made me realise I'm not exercising correctly. I'm not positioning my weight in the right type of way. So I'm getting so much more out of my workouts. And because I am doing a personal training session and I am paying for it, and it's not cheap, I'm going to be honest, it's made me realize I need to make it work. There's no point eating a whole pile of junk and then turning up to personal training because it's pointless. So I've found that I'm eating healthier. When I do still enjoy life. So when I go to a restaurant, I go to a restaurant and have a glass of wine, but I'll be a bit more conscious as to what I'm eating. I'll pick the food that I order more in a more mindful way. So I've absolutely loved it. And I've just wrapped up my last session, and I said to him, look, can we look at doing this as an ongoing basis? And I'm going to have to go to my budget and work out what I can get rid of to make sure I can afford it without it, jeopardizing my budget. And there are going to be things I'm going to have to cut from it, some sacrifices, but I've realized it's actually been a fantastic investment, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And I still do Pilates at Vive, which I absolutely love. And I'll still be going for my jogs along Bondi Beach, but this is just so complimentary. And even Tom said to me the other day, I bolted downstairs naked, and he's like, "Oh, honey, I can see some toning there." I was like, "All right, done. I'm going to keep this up." And as Adam said, he's like, "You've done 10 weeks. Imagine where you'll be like in this time next year." So it's been really enjoyable. The fourth non-financial investment has been a family holiday. Every year, Tom and I go to Emerald Beach, and Emerald Beach is 45 minutes from Coffs Harbour. It is this beautiful little town. There's just a handful of restaurants. There's a bottle shop and a hairdressing salon, and that's pretty much it. And we get a place. If you follow me on my normal Instagram account at Hannah Campbell Official, I've actually shared a post of all the things I recommend you stay and do. You can go to the Big Banana. You can go to the Butterfly Farm. It's gorgeous. And we've just come back from a week in Emerald Beach. I have to say, traveling with a toddler is a testing experience. She decided to get out of her seat on takeoff, which was very stressful. But my kids love it. It's a frugal, budget-friendly holiday. And, staying in Airbnb, you can do all your own laundry and have breakfast at home or lunch at home or dinner at home. But we get to go for walks. We get to connect as a family. We get to disconnect from everyone else around us. And it's just, we do it every year and we absolutely love it. And it's so important to make sure you go on holidays. Whenever I meet with people and they tell me, oh, look, I've spent all my money on holidays and travel. I'm like, good on you. Investing in yourself, investing in experiences, you're not going to regret that. I think that's a smart. Obviously, do it in a meaningful, financially responsible way, but it's definitely worth doing. And the fifth non-financial investment, and this is probably the one you're going to be like, really, Hannah, you spent money on that? And that is once in a while, I'm talking once every 2 or 3 or even 4 years, I go and see a psychic. The psychic, and I just saw someone recently, and it's the same person I see all the time. And I didn't really see them to see the future. I just went and saw them to have a blessing, actually, to be honest, this time. But every now and again, we all get into this phase or this space where we're like, is it all worth it? Are we on the right path? Are we doing the right things? Are there things I need to learn? Are there things I need to do? Are there things I need to be careful of and watch out? And it just helps rebuild a bit of faith. And so I reconnected with this Aboriginal healer psychic, and it was amazing, and it was like $200 or something like that. And it just reassured me about the future, and it was absolutely amazing. And it's funny, I connected with him before I met Tom, and he said to me, you've met this person, or you're about to meet this person, and he predicted absolutely everything about Tom. And then I reconnected with him about 18 months later, and he told me what was going to happen, and to the point where the street that we were going to buy a house in, what the house was going to look like. Like, it was freaky what he said about me and about my work and about he said, you'll have 2 children, you'll have them quite close together, and he loves Rocco like his own son, and everything was incredible. Anyway, so that has been a fantastic expense for me to wrap up the end of the year. So as you can see, I spend money. I spend money that some of you guys may think is a waste, but for me, it's been an enjoyable one. It's one that I've done, I've enjoyed without it jeopardizing my financial well-being, because I've prioritized my financial well-being. It's one that I've enjoyed because it's the priceless value back in my life. It's given me, so much joy and depth and meaning, and reflects my value system on what I want my life to look like. So yes, Peppy has been an expensive experience, but it's worth it, and I wouldn't do it any other way. And I want you to make sure that you have these experiences in your life. Please don't ever feel bad about, going on a holiday. Don't ever feel bad about, if you decide to get an animal and, yes, they have, something happens in your life with that animal that you have to spend money on. I was talking to one of my really good friends, one of my oldest friends, and he was telling me how his dog is like his son. And he's like, I love going to the pet store and buying my dog like treats and a new bed and a new collar. And he's like, I just love doing that. I'm like, and I was like, that's awesome. Like, keep it going. That's what's meaningful to you. That's what gives you joy. That's why you work hard, so you can enjoy these moments. But obviously, do it with a balance. Make sure you prioritize your well-being, make sure you're saving, make sure you're investing in growing your passive income, make sure you're including your retirement planning, make sure you've got meaningful goals that you love working on, and you focus on the values behind those goals. All right, everyone, I'm going to wrap up this podcast, which I have somehow managed to pull off doing simultaneously on Instagram at Sugar Mama TV and on my platform, Podbean. So for everyone, as I said, I'm wrapping up 2021 now. Next podcast will be in early January. I have an incredible lineup for you already. As I said, I almost want to press fast forward because it's so exciting what I'm going to be sharing with you. And of course, YouTube will be back up as well at the same time. And I will be publishing content throughout the Christmas, New Year festive break. So please make sure you're following me there. And of course, on my everyday Instagram account at Canna Campbell Official. And as I said, if you want to know the details as to where we recommend you stay and what we recommend you do, if you do decide to go to Emerald Beach, which is a beautiful town, jump on my Instagram account and see the post where it's Rocco and Apple holding hands on the beach, and behind that it's a carousel, so you can swipe and see the copy as to what I recommend. All right, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for your kindness, your support, your encouragement, your loyalty as well this year. And I want to wish everyone a very happy and safe Christmas and New Year. And please make sure you take time to disconnect and reconnect with yourself and for the people around you that you love and are meaningful to you, whoever they may be. And please you also use the time to think about what are your new financial goals for 2022. What do you want to achieve? What do you want to see in your life? What do you want to attract? And I look forward to exploring this with you and helping you achieve this for 2022. All right, everyone, have a safe period, and I look forward to reconnecting with you in the new year. Ciao for now.